I am one of the village in Region 7. I was in town, I think, last year, August, and the ending part of July. And then I don't know where they get my number from. And they called me on my cell phone, and they called me to their office. And I went, and they asked me what is the number of the household in my community and the population. And they were expecting to go in to Jawala to put up those solar panels, which they didn't inform me before. So when I went in, I make it my duty. I was to come and spend 2 weeks or so in Georgetown, but I couldn't stay, so I had to went back. And then when I went, they were behind me. They reached me, I think, 2 days after. And I didn't have time to mobilize my people of what was taking place. But anyway, I accepted. But they didn't have no kind of written document to say how it will run in the community. So they put up the solar panels, but by rumors, I think one from Region 8 was there. And he gave me the information, said that I think the fee is $500 a month. So I asked them that question. They said, no, it is not so. But afterwards, they sent a document to me to sign, and then it was so. Each household was to pay $500 a month, and which the people didn't like. They thought that everything was free and they accepted, but afterwards, the fee came up now. That is giving us a problem at Jawala, especially those who cannot get money, who are unfortunate. Those are the people getting problem right now. Thank you.
Would anybody else like to make a comment?
Yes, I would love that microphone to go on up there. I'm certain that there are people up there who will listen.
The name Toshoa Press Conference. One of my concerns is that signing resolution is supporting the LCDS program. LCDS deals with title land, title land only. What about in satellite villages without title? There you see enough division. Why demarcating people, dividing people without their consent? Now let us understand. According to Mr. James, the power veto power has been given to village council with small-scale mining, medium-scale mining. In other words, now you're overriding people's decision where large-scale mining is concerned. It's unfair. Whereas you don't have no say where large-scale mining is concerned. For example, in Region 8, they have a uranium company exploring in that location there without people consent. That's overriding people's decision. If you say no, you don't have no say, you don't have no power. Now, what I mean to say is that we are the signatory members to all parties, international parties. For example, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, they said free, prior, and informed consent. Are we really upheld that's our obligation? Our country, our presidents obligate to do that. By signing those kind of treaties, we are obligated to do these things. We have to execute our obligation. That's my concern. Another one. What about we talking about low carbon development strategy? Okay, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. We made an agreement. What about memorandum of understanding with Norway and Guyana? How many villages really aware of this kind of technical introduction, especially in Region 8? I'm from there. There was no consultation, adequate consultation. They said consultation, more so it might be more information sharing. They went there once. I was one of the participants to attend there, and that just lasted about 2.5 hours. Oh, you're telling me to say you're coming to that technical document, think about this. Who in this hall would understand that document in that period, the period of time frame there? That's unfair. Consultation means continuous process, not just one-time visit and say this adequate consultation. That's unfair again. All right. Memorandum of understanding says regarding the objectives is that respect indigenous people's lands and territories and resources, and keep your forest standing. Of course, we protecting our forests. We understand there is disasters going on all over globally, and who causing it? Look how many cars driving around here. Go in my area and see what is going on there. We protect our forests. For them, not Georgetown here I'm talking about. We proud people in this country. Our country is a rich country that we Guyanese protecting it. But those big industrial countries who contribute in emissions, they are the people that were causing it. We are the people that are protecting our forests. Why divide people and so people who protecting the forest and granting the concessions in the territories? Thank you very much.
About 10 minutes.
Too short?
Anybody else?
No.
Or letter force and then you. Everyone have a chance.
Okay, I stand here as a councillor from Campbelltown, also a women's representative through APA, also as a women's rights activist on behalf of, or through Red Thread. I work along with women. And some of the things that I've been living under through this government, I've seen, well, I can say that I think that I need changes, and I'm sure about changes that I want to see happen within my community and within Guyana as a whole. On the educational system, we had a meeting recently with the Prime Minister at Madhya Secondary School, where I stand to ask questions about the education that was going on there. Because we don't have professional trained teachers at the secondary school, and as they were saying that they were sidelined with when they had this conference. That was the same thing that was happening when we had that meeting. And when I stand up to talk about it, they were saying, time is up, you can't say anything more, and they were going on. And so I know about that. So most times they don't give you the chance to talk. If you have to say something, if you go against them, they always cut short your time. So that's one of the things I've seen. And I would like to see change within the educational system. As a secondary school in Madhya, we have a secondary school, and I told them, and I keep saying that that's just a name as Madhya Secondary School, but the system is not, as the program and everything that they're doing is not being done as a secondary school. Another thing is the road. We like to talk about the road because not the road from Georgetown, Madhya to Georgetown only, but the road within Campbelltown itself and Madhya. We keep saying that, okay, if you can't look after the road from Madhya to Georgetown or from Princeville to Campbelltown, the area that is right around Madhya and Campbelltown should be looked after. And if you go into Madhya right now in Campbelltown, you will see that the road is not, that's not a road. You actually call it a trail, right? It's not a road. Another thing I would like to see happening with the government, or a changed government I can say, is the government to be looking into domestic violence as an issue, because a lot of times people would look at domestic violence and they would just say that that's a personal issue, or that's a private issue, husband and wife, which is one of the things that we need the health sector to understand, that domestic violence is also a part of the health should be looking after that. Ministry of Health should, take this into consideration and see that these are some of the things that are causing stress. They are causing people to become sick and they don't realize. When you go to the hospital and you explain it, they will tell you, okay, it's not malaria, it's not some STI, or it's not anything. Well, it might be stress, and they're not persons, they're like trained persons. to be looking into certain things like domestic violence. They have trafficking in persons that are going on. They have laws, I can say they have laws that can deal with these things, and these laws are not being implemented and being used within our communities like Campbelltown, Matthew, around Mykobi, Chumachumari, Moro, all of these areas. I would like to also raise the issue on Moro that they had, the present government, they're saying that they're doing development within the indigenous communities, and I was listening to the news that came over, I think it was last night or night before, when they were saying development in the indigenous communities. But I don't know if any development is happening within the Amerindian communities, at least not in Campbelltown. Because on Morowa, where we normally visit, Mykobi, all they do is, okay, they normally build these big schools, they would build these schools. They don't have persons to go in to see what kind of school they build, if it's a proper school. Now when you visit the school, if it's a concrete building, it's always cracking somewhere. If it's a wooden building, the wood is just, it's not a hardwood they use. Go to Morowa now and you can see what I'm talking about, because I saw it for my own self. They built it like, it's 3 years now in Morowa. They built a health post, they built a school and teachers' quarter. None of it in use till now. Right, and my Toshoa was saying that they said this term September coming, that the school will be open. But I'm just figuring out, maybe just because of election sake, they're saying that. Right, so I would like to see a government that can take all of these things into consideration. Not only saying that you're building or putting buildings like health centers, teachers' quarters, and health posts, whatever they might want to put, but they have to have trained personnel within those areas. You know, that we can actually say, okay, we are getting that what we need within that community, not just a building and then we say it's development. The government gave out tractors to the communities the last time. Well, Campbelltown didn't get, they always don't get anything, right? Because we always like to talk. So we didn't get any tractor, but that tractor that they gave out, we can say that Campbelltown by itself, with the village funds, they purchased their own tractor, which was 8 million something, or 8 point something, right? And those tractors that they give out to the communities are less than our tractors, so we don't really, what the Amerindians, I would like to let the Amerindians, my Amerindian people to know that when they're collecting something from the government, they should ensure that these things can last a time. You know, you don't just take something and then you don't even know how long it will last. Before it reached the farm up time, some of the parts gone, so many times it breaks down before it even reaches where it's supposed to go. Another thing on the land issue, the last time we went into the Minister of Amerindian Affairs, and we asked her about our certificate for our land, because we have a land title. And they said to us that we are not entitled to a certificate, because they don't know anything about certificate, only about the title for the land. And we said okay, because we were asking for a certificate for our land. So the first day, which was Monday at this conference, our Toshoa received his certificate for the land. But it's nice to have our certificate, yes. But our land, we were given title for Campbelltown with about 7 to 8 persons owning blocks on Campbelltown land. And now with those 7 to 8 persons still on our land, we receive our certificate, which we are not pleased about. I am asking the government, or even the coming government, to look into our matter to see that, okay, if we're given a land, and we should not even be given that land because it's our land even before. We need our land without blocks on it. If it's our land, we need our land without any blocks. It must be Campbelltown's land. And we have a title, we have a certificate without any mining blocks on it. On behalf of my indigenous people also, I would like to say that the Minister of Amerindian Affairs, the NTC, representative or the chairperson, Yvonne Pearson. I have been listening and I've seen some of their speeches that they've made when they went to New York. And I am not pleased about what they're saying, that we don't have land issues, Amerindian folks are living comfortable, and all of these things, and I'm not pleased about it, which is not true. Since Yvonne Pearson as the chairperson for NTC, she's been the chairperson, she never visited our village, Campbelltown, to say anything or to ask if we have issues to raise. As the minister, she never visited our village to have any meeting to ask whether we have concerns or anything. So they can't be going out to that big meeting to say that we don't have issues, while we still have issues. And as a member on the council, I was saying that we are not going to sign any resolution until our village land issues are fixed before we can sign anything. Thank you.
Anybody else?